Hello everyone and welcome to the FPL Cougars show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kieran.
And today, we're doing a bit of all sorts really. We've got Cougar Cubs to wrap up, Manager of the Week. We're going to recap the horror show that was Gameweek 8. We're also going to preview Kieran's Wildcard team. You excited to reveal that?
Yes, I am, yeah. Yep.
Good.
I don't know if I even remember which one it was now.
You've got so many drafts floating about.
There
I keep
is
getting
so many
these
drafts, yeah. Right.
keep getting these screenshots like, what do you think of this one?
Yeah.
And as before we just came on, you noticed that Madison had risen in price last night and you missed out on that.
I did, yeah. Annoying, really annoying actually. Just it's not transparent with what's going on with those rises. So, but anyway,
yeah, it's a bit annoying. So we got all that to talk about. We've got a couple of questions we're just going to talk about and discuss, give our opinion on. And also, Kieran, you don't know this because I've been thinking about surprise you with something on the show tonight. There's going to be a quiz on the show tonight. I know I see you shaking your head. Inspired by something I saw Trent do on YouTube with Gomez. I'll reveal that a bit later because it was fun, and I reckon you're going to do better than he did. No, I think you're going to do better than he did. So we'll do that when you least expect it.
all
Right. Let's start by looking back at Game Week 8 very briefly and talking about that mess. Do you want to go first with this one and see what happened?
Not a bad week to have a bad week, basically. So 34 points. Obviously, The average was only 36. Just none of the big hitters. No one did well this week. None of the Aguero, Sterling scored and sort of that. So my biggest heroes was Ryan with 7 points, which is away. What was it, at home? Yeah, it was home, wasn't it? Home against Spurs. You're not really expecting a clean sheet, but he's done really well recently. The whole back line was terrible. Alexander with a bonus despite conceding and not doing anything else, which is pretty good. And then Mount, got a goal, doing well for me. Glad I got him back in. And then obviously Haller with the goal, sort of a differential still. But got a yellow card too. So
annoying.
Could have been a little bit more, unfortunately. Lundstrom blocked on the bench by Zinchenko, who came on at half time and conceded 2 goals, got 0 points. Great. Thought Zinchenko would play, to be honest, but so that's annoying. And then McGovern on the bench with 9. I did consider McGovern, but I was probably always going to start Ryan. And obviously he got 9 points with conceding 5 goals still. So with that penalty save. But 34 points, 2 points below the average, which was from 232k down to 323k. So basically 100k red arrow. Sorry. So overall, not as bad as I thought it would be. Sterling failing again on captain as well. That's half my weeks have been captain fails. And at the start, I was picking the wrong one between Sterling and Salah, even though they were returning. So that needs to improve somehow, hopefully.
Do you want to wait your transfer as well? You didn't mention that, but you took KDB out, didn't you? Because you thought you were going to play a wild card.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I took KDB out for Mahrez. I thought it was just a punt that had no real downside because I was going to wildcard anyway. And obviously Mahrez could have had another 2 points if he wasn't taken off at 59 minutes 45 seconds.
So annoying. That's so annoying.
So just classic, really. After he's looked so good, then he just Pep decides to troll.
Yeah. Nah, it was just one of those weeks. Luckily, I had Mane in the squad, which made it such a better week for me. So I was quite far above the average, which was unusual. But 51 points. Mane obviously came in. I had the Chelsea double attack with Mount and Abraham, so they gave me some good points. Pope and goal with the 7, and I decided to play Lundstrom over originally Wan-Bissaka, and then I heard he was going to be out, and I was worried about fielding a full squad because there was also doubts to Cantwell and De Bruyne. So I brought in Tomori, looking ahead to Chelsea's fixtures. I think he's still really good value there. Tomori came in for Wan-Bissaka, but I benched him in favour of Lundstrom, and that worked out. So all in all, 51 was pretty happy with that, and I kept De Bruyne. Obviously, unlike you, I don't have my wild card to bring him back in, and I'm really hoping now that we get some positive news after this week that he's due back in game week 8.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward for me at the same time because I'm not sure if he is going to be fit or not, and so yeah, do I either bring him in and hope he is, or do I leave some money in the bank for him? I'm not sure. It's kind of tough at the same time.
I've seen a lot of wildcards, man, where people is leaving cash in the bank, but just to bring him back in. I feel like that's just because it's an international break, and when you get round to the night before, we're all going to know whether De Bruyne's going to play, because Pep's pretty transparent when it comes to big injuries like that, isn't he?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he told us when he'd be back, didn't he?
Well, no, he says when people are out, but I don't know if he's going to say if he's going to start or not, sort of thing. So
yeah, that's a fair point, actually. Okay, but he'll be back in the squad at least, is what we're hoping for. Yeah, game week 9. Let's talk about some managers that did better than us, Kieran. Who was our manager of the week in the FPL Cougars mini league?
Okay, yeah, game week 8 manager of the week was Pre-Stars, Priyank Patel. I think we've mentioned him before. He's also had a manager of the week before. So 61 points, no chips this week. Obviously 61 points in this game week is really high. And a game week rank of 92k, overall rank of 633, up from 5k, which is obviously great. And he's third in the Cub League, and
nice.
Yeah, doing really well at the moment. So he had Pope as well as you. All of his defenders blanked, like most players this week. He obviously had Mount, and then he had Mane captain, which is a great shout. And then Haller goal, Tammy goal. Yeah, overall a good score in a poor week.
That is good. I was just thinking, if I'd captain Mane, I would have been FPL Cougars manager of the week.
You could have been, yeah.
I could have been.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been glorious. Yeah, that's really good. And it's great to have a manager who's done it like twice already this season. Maybe he's just playing for FPL Cougars manager of the weeks.
Yeah.
Coveted prize. We've also got a shout out to Omar as well, who's still top of our FPL Cougars mini league. Posted it on our comments video last night, so he's obviously tracking his progress. We're tracking his progress. It's sort of like a joint thing. He's 66th overall, which is pretty incredible. Keep going with it. If you want to join, not you, Kieran, because you're already in there, aren't you? Nestled in the Cougars mini league.
Seem to always have at least a few players that are like right up there in our league, so it's nice to see.
It is good. Yeah. Well, if you want to join,
shameless not us.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're way down. The code to join is DJUUZ6. So if you're still not part of the Cougar Cubs mini league, we call it the Cougar Cubs mini league. Yeah. Join right on up and sort of either swim in mediocrity like you and I do, or battle out at the top with Omar. There's be a place for you in there. Should we move on to talk about our Cubs? Because I feel like I'm getting away from you a little bit here with these.
Well, even though you blanked this week, but still, I blanked too. So, I picked Buendia, which is Aston Villa at home. Obviously, on paper, good fixture. Norwich at home have been miles better than they were away from home. So I expected some sort of return, and Aston Villa have been conceding plenty. And obviously, he just got 2 points. Complete blank, so never mind. You went for Chris Wood. Who did they play again?
They played Everton at home.
Everton, that's it. Everton at home. So he got 2 points as well. Obviously Barnes and Wood both not doing well there at the moment. So I'm up to 11 now. You're up to 21 in total. So for September, I'm on 7. You're on 13. And it's getting away, like you said.
I think you should just be pleased that your Cougar Cub pick didn't get injured this week, like so many of the other Norwich players. So actually to make it through getting 2 points or getting that single point, I think you should be happy with that. I was a bit disappointed with Chris Wood. Oh, sorry.
I think I just need to pick Pepe every week for the rest of the season until he starts hauling for me.
That wouldn't be a bad show. Yeah, I think you club. I mean, it looks like a lot, but 10 points isn't really that much, is it, for a differential?
Yeah.
One big week, and I think you're right back up there. All right, well, let's get talking about your wild card. I'm going to put up on the screen now. Do you want to read through every player, just for people who might be listening on...
I've got it on my phone. I'm hoping it's the right one.
Oh, God.
Tell me if it's not. So, Patricio in goal. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, check, yeah.
Okay. And then Rico at the moment, just because I haven't really decided between him and Kelly. Either one look like they're probably going to play in most of the games. So either one's fine. Pereira at 6.1. Trent, Lundstrom, and then Tierney is a punt. I like the look of him. I think he should start from now on. He should be ready to go from after the international break. Then I've got Salah still in this one. Is that right?
Yep.
De Bruyne, Maddison, who I may or may not have. Nakamba, who looks the marvelous Nakamba, who looks like he should be nailed on in that midfield, possibly anyway. He seems to have displaced that Douglas Luiz at the moment. So 4.4 seems a bargain. And then Mount is still in there. Aguero at 12.2. So I've got rid of Sterling, put in Aguero because Aguero's stats are just way, way above Sterling's at the moment.
Yeah.
Greenwood is in there at the moment, but I'll probably try and get in that Connolly guy from Brighton instead. And Abraham is the last one. So I've not had him yet this season, so I need to get on him. And just looking at his stats as well is just well above anyone else in the whole league, to be honest. Abraham at the moment over the last 4 weeks. So
he's looking really good, isn't he?
He is.
It was a great. I mean, I thought his goal was really good as well on at the weekend against Southampton. I mean, I don't think it got enough credit on like Match of the Day and other sort of like review shows. I thought it was a top finish, considering how quick how little time he had to plan that shot and loop it up and down over the goalkeeper. To think about that, if that was like an Aguero, Aubameyang, Kane did that, I think we'd be hearing about it all week. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was a really good finish. Yeah, I like the team a lot. I think probably the most interesting thing to start with, we've had a few questions about this, namely from, I think it was Sinister on Twitter, who asked us about whether Bellerin and Tierney were options. He's obviously made it into your wildcard team. You've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Arsenal obviously not notorious for clean sheets, but they picked one up against Bournemouth. Do you feel good about Tierney? I think he's a nice differential and he's a decent-ish price for your 4-4-2.
Well, you say they're not notorious for clean sheets, obviously last year, but they're on par this year. They've kept 2 clean sheets. The highest is 3. So I don't see how Arsenal can't defend as a thing is a bit premature this year, to be honest. So I think Tierney and Bellerin coming into the squad is going to be a confidence boost to them. It's going to help them. So yeah, I'm kind of happy to take the punt on him at 0.5% owned or something. Seems like why not? I think they're both the same price, Tierney and Bellerin. I watched some of the Europa highlights that the game that Tierney played, or both of them actually played, and Tierney looked way more impressive for me. Linking down the left was his average position was really, really high. His heat map was off the charts on that on that left side, and yeah, I think as soon as Lacazette's back as well, his sort of link up with Aubameyang should be really nice. So yeah, I'm kind of tempted to go that way because obviously he's got a great record in Scotland with his attacking potential as well. So yeah, him as a sort of cover for, not exactly cover, but as a sort of attacking kind of like Robertson Trent-esque for Arsenal, that seems like a pretty good way to go for me.
Yeah, he looks like, I mean, I have to say, of all the, let's say, the traditional top 6 sides, he is the most attacking wing/fullback you can get for 5.4 million in the game right now. I mean, he is totally unproven as an FPL asset.
He is, yes.
But he's obviously been bought with a view to starting in Emery's side, and you would have thought that he's going to play the majority of games once he gets up to full fitness in the position Kolasinac has been playing. Kolasinac had a good game out against Bournemouth. I think he picked up a bonus point, didn't he, in the clean sheet? So, I mean, you would think that the traits that apply to Kolasinac's position will also apply to Tierney's if he ends up, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Tierney? Anyway. Yeah. But I'd imagine that he's similarly going to be involved in the same sort of build-up play that Kolasinac does. So there's probably potential for bonus there. I looked at the fixtures for Arsenal's because there's been a lot of talk, isn't there, about Aubameyang coming into squads and whether Sterling's worth a downgrade. But I think the next 3 on paper, I should say, are actually they're up against some stern-ish sort of mid-table defences in Sheffield United, Palace and Wolves. I mean, those 3 teams are in the top half of the table for shots conceded, i.e. they've had the least in the last 3 games. Wolves kept out City. Palace have been on a great run of form recently. Their fixtures turned really bad, and obviously Sheffield United really limited Liverpool, so they obviously play Arsenal at home next. Do you see maybe not an influx of Arsenal goals over these next 3, but enough there to warrant clean sheet points and maybe the odd attacking return?
Yeah, that I can't see loads of goals for them. That's why I kind of haven't gone with Aubameyang on my wild card, just because, like you said, that Sheffield United away game is going to be tough, and then Crystal Palace great defensively at the moment, and then Wolves at home obviously good defensively too. So yeah, those next three, I can't see much. Maybe the odd goal that hopefully Tierney can be involved in, and maybe they'll get even more just because Tierney and Bellerin are back and they're so attacking. So it might go the other way. It might be more goals than we expect. But if I can just have Tierney or Bellerin, propping up with some assists and possible bonus points and hopeful clean sheets, then bargain. 5.4 for someone, say, like Chilwell, who's sort of similar, I guess. That's the sort of price range you're looking at.
Yeah.
And I don't know, PVA or something. I'd say Tierney is probably better than them. And top 6 side, I guess. But yeah, obviously Bellerin is Premier League proven, and he's going to have the link up with Pepe, which could be great at the same time. So hopefully I just choose the right one. But Tierney, to me, in the games I've seen of them, looks better.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think probably another big talking point which I've had a lot of questions on is the whole Salah and Sterling thing now. I think it was, plenty of people, but Oscar on YouTube shouted us out and just, is it time to get rid of one or both of them? You've obviously now gone without Sterling on your wildcard. Is that something you're thinking of actually sticking with, or is it sort of like you're just seeing how the balance looks without him in there and Aguero instead?
Like I said, Salah's or Sterling's stats compared to Aguero's are way down, way down. So Sterling over the last 4 weeks, XG has been 1.55, and then Aguero comparatively has been about 3.43, which is really big. And obviously Aguero's had 4 goals compared to Sterling's 1, and Aguero's like practically doubled Sterling's shots, 22 compared to 13. So maybe. Obviously, Sterling can return at any time. I still don't want to kind of get rid of Sterling. I thought he'd be a season keeper, but it's scary not owning Aguero. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try Aguero for a little bit. I don't know, to be honest. I may still keep Sterling because I kind of like Wilson that I don't have at the moment. And Wilson compared to Vardy, obviously, we'll talk about it probably in a bit. But Wilson's sort of stats look better. And it's got a better balance if I have Sterling instead of Aguero and Wilson up top with Abraham. So yeah, it's tough. But yes, Sterling versus say Mane, for instance. Yes. Wait, have I got down? No, Salah compared to Mane I've got down here. Sorry, so I'm switching the thing now. So the XG for those two, Salah is 2.69, and then Mane has been 2.96 over the last 4 weeks. So it's basically nothing much in it.
Yeah, that's.
And obviously Salah has only had 1 goal, and Mane's had 4. So yeah, Salah's stats are all up there. Shots, key passes are all just slightly under Mane. So I expect he's probably going to start returning at some point. If he scored that 1-on-1 against, I think it was Newcastle or
maybe Sheffield United, I think the one you're thinking of, yeah. And
then he had that sort of, he could have had the penalty if he hadn't gone off before, got injured. So yeah, if he scored those, then I wouldn't be talking about getting rid of him probably.
No.
But Mane, we've seen him looking pretty good against Brazil last night in the internationals. He looks like he's in really good form. So that 1 million saving is pretty good. I'm tempted to do the double up, even though the next fixtures look tough on paper. But Man United are obviously in bad form. Spurs are in bad form, so 2 good times to play them. I'm tempted at the double up with Liverpool defence still as well. Robertson and Alexander-Arnold with Alisson coming back, I think could be good. I maybe it's the wrong time to jump off them because I've kept the face this far.
It's definitely tough. It's definitely tough. I think I learned a little bit from last season. It's dangerous. I mean, I know you're on wildcard, so it's a little bit different, but it's dangerous to rotate premiums because you'll get in a situation where they'll score well one week and the other one won't. I think a key moment I remember from last season is Hazard and Sterling. So I looked at Hazard's fixtures. They looked a ton better, and I transferred out Sterling for about 3 or 4 game weeks. Hazard, I think, blanked in like 3 or 4 of them, and Sterling went on a bit of a spree. And I think that can happen with the premium players, can't it? I mean, you've just been talking about how good Salah and Mane's stats are. It just so happens that for these last 3 or 4 game weeks, Salah has not finished his chances, which look really presentable, and Mane has. I mean, and people are probably rushing now over the international break. We've seen Mane go up in price off the back of this game week. But there's the stats, underlying stats to show, and the eye test really, because it doesn't look like Salah's playing badly. He's just lost a bit of confidence, but it's probably going to swing back the other way for another 4 game weeks, and Salah would just go on a bit of a spree.
And Salah's possibly injured. So.
Yeah, that's true. So that's probably attributed to a lot of his sales. But yeah, I think I've learned from previous seasons is once you're happy with your premiums, I think you've got to be prepared for them to go through games where they're not going to score in everyone. It's obviously been quite frustrating at the start of the season for a lot of managers because we've captained them for their blanks. But really, have that many other premiums been delivering at the same time? I mean, it'd be bad if Sterling
really
blanked and Salah was getting 15 to 20 point hauls. But I think Salah has had two over 10-point hauls this season in the first game week and maybe game week 3. Sterling's just had one in the first game week, so it's Kevin De Bruyne's been the more reliable captaincy option, and we've both got him. And I wouldn't, if you got him at 9.5, I wouldn't really consider him a premium price player. So
I mean, there's the time where you sold Salah on your wildcard where he scored 2 goals and Mane blanked. So it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But
well, I was going to say once I got rid of Salah for game week 3 and he scored those 2 goals, straight away I was like, oh my god, I've totally fluffed it here. I missed out on huge points. But since then, I've kept the faith with Mane, and he's only 3 points, or scored 3 points fewer in the 5 game weeks since. Yeah. So I think if you can stick it out for the longer period, the returns are going to sort of even themselves out over the season. I think Mane's obviously, like you say, on a bit of a purple patch now, and everything he's doing is doing well. But it could easily flip around again. I think it's just sticking with.
So for people on wildcard like me, and obviously Liverpool have tough fixtures, right?
Yeah.
But tough on paper.
Tough on paper. They're top of the league, though. Yeah.
So would you go double Liverpool defence? Would you go Salah Mane? What would you do?
I still like both of their attack and their defence, but probably one of... As you've got it right.
3, right?
Yeah, well, maybe it doesn't need to be 3 now you're on wildcard. You've got the luxury of hitting some... I mean, maybe don't look at Liverpool's fixtures so much, look at the fixtures of the other teams. And I'm sure that's what other people are doing as well. You'd probably think that, I mean, you've got 2 Chelsea players in your team now, but which teams have got the best fixtures until, let's say, game week 13 when Liverpool's get really good?
I mean, yeah, there is fixture swings, right, for teams, but then there's also Liverpool and City, who are obviously miles ahead of the other teams, so you can almost disregard fixtures.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of. But so it's a tough position of trying to balance those fixture swing teams.
Yeah. And
then also still possibly having 2 or 3 triple up on City and Liverpool, which is difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult, yeah. No,
So,
way to go. Yeah. I think Salah's underperforming his stats at the moment, and I think with Sterling as well. I mean, he's had the second most penalty area touches of all midfielders in the game, and I think Sterling still sat at third overall for shots this season. So I think both are looking really good, and it's only going to be as soon as you take one of them out, you're going to regret it and bring them back in. I think just once you're happy with your 3, just try and leave it.
So Sterling versus Aguero, what do you think? Because we'll see Aguero's stats are way better.
Yeah, I haven't really got. I don't know. I'm quite happy playing my 4-4-2. I've been quite. Yeah, over last season and this season, it seems like the value is in midfield. Despite Aguero's good start to the season, he's getting almost matched by Abraham for sort of shots. His points are very similar. Pukki's shots are similar. Callum Wilson's very similar. They're all kind of similar in terms of points, whereas there seems to be already a bit of a gap at the top of the premium midfielders bracket between them and, let's say, who's running up behind them? Mount
Mahrez.
Mount and Mahrez. So, for me, I'm quite happy to keep Sterling, Mane, and De Bruyne as my sort of 3 main premium assets and build around them. But I think it's going to be different for everyone.
That's probably what I am looking at in the end.
Yeah.
Also, I sold Salah last year, and it was the crux of my whole season. So hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Right, let's get on to some more questions because we've got a few more to get through. You talked about it earlier. Let's talk about Wilson against Vardy because it's probably, like you say, a consideration for you. Wilson looks like he's got a good set of fixtures to come up now. How do you think he compares to Jamie Vardy?
Okay, so stats-wise, Wilson looks better over the last 4 at least. And points-wise as well. Points-wise, Vardy's got 1 more point. Wilson's got 33, Vardy's got 34. But stats-wise, Wilson looks better, and he's got the better immediate fixtures as well. And obviously at 7.9 million versus 9 million, the savings are staring us in the face a little bit. So over the last 4 weeks, I got some stats here. Vardy first and then Wilson second. So shots is 10 versus 11. Vardy's had 6 on target and 8 in the box. And then Wilson's had 9 on target and 9 in the box. So, Wilson's probably a little bit on top there. Big chances is 4 versus 8. So Wilson, double the big chances. XG of a 2.23 versus 3.80, which is quite a big difference.
Yeah, it's quite big.
Vardy has had tough teams to play, but Wilson, the next immediate fixtures could be hauling. Key passes 4 versus 5, goals 4 versus 5, big chances created 1 versus 1, and XA of 0.88 versus 0.98. So Wilson's pretty much ahead on all the stats. So that being said, I think that 4-4-2 of Abraham and Wilson up top seems really good with Mane, Sterling, KDB, Mount sort of thing. That feels pretty good to me. I don't know if that's 2 template, maybe it is, but the sort of differentials of my wildcard going backwards with Tierney and stuff, hopefully it is template setting. I like Wilson over Vardy at the moment, and Vardy's their next fixtures are not definitely winnable. They're not. Burnley at home is not that easy. Southampton away have looked okay recently, Southampton, and then Crystal Palace away. Like Crystal Palace have looked good defensively as well. So those next 3, I think I can wait on Vardy, and Wilson from like to get Vardy in is just Wilson down to someone like a 4.5 and then downgrade. Sorry, not Wilson down to 4.5. Take out Wilson, downgrade someone like Robertson or Pereira if I have them, and then I can easily get up to Vardy like that. So it's not out of the realms of getting him if I do this. So I think Wilson for the next 2 or 3 is the shout. Yeah,
I've looked at him quite a lot. I mean, Pookie is I was just getting frustrated with him last game week, like a lot of other people were. I mean, he's seen so many thousands of transfers out, but I mentioned it last week's show. I'm like, how have I ended up with 2 Championship players in my sort of like front 8 of my squad in Pookie and Cantwell?
Abraham doesn't count anymore.
Abraham doesn't count anymore, no. But neither does Mount. It's just the Norwich lads. But yeah, for a team that's sort of struggling so badly, I suppose team form doesn't really come into FPLs so much because Pookie by himself could carry the team. But I don't want to get into a situation where it's a bit like Norwich last season, where the team really goes off the rails and they sort of lose all confidence, and Pookie does as well. I think he still can be a great option, but when you see, I don't know, Wilson's got some good fixtures. Sorry, I sort of got a bit distracted by talking about Pookie really when the conversation's about Wilson Vardy, but I sort of see that a lot of people are probably upgrading to one of those 2 players, so it's probably worth me mentioning him. Personally,
one of the questions is about Pookie.
Okay.
Keepable, so keep talking.
Yeah, well, one of the things I'd probably ask you, because I'm not really sure what I'd do myself, but if you brought in Wilson over Vardy, would you feel confident captaining him? Because for me, I wouldn't ever really feel. I'd feel good about
Wilson.
I'd feel good about captaining Vardy, but I don't know if I'd trust Wilson as much with the armband. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I mean, I had him a lot last season, but didn't ever captain him once.
No, I don't think I'd captain either of them, to be honest. I'd just keep it on the premiums, or Abraham. He's looking good. So no, neither of them would be a consideration for captain for me.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, so some numbers on Pookie. Now I mentioned them. Mentioned him even. So he's blanked in the last 3. In those 3 games, he's had 5 shots in the box and 1 big chance. So in the 3 before that, he had 6 shots in the box, so 1 more, and 3 big chances, so 2 more. And in those, he got a goal and an assist, which was in that game against Man City. Now, I don't think those set of numbers are that different, really. No. So, sort of despite Norwich's poor form, it looks like he's still getting reasonable chances to finish. And I think it's one of those things, like I've said with the premiums, really, a bit of patience could go a long way with him. And we know Bournemouth's defence isn't the most secure, and Manchester United, I think Norwich have got next up at home at Carrow Road after that. They're in a bit of low confidence. So, I mean, Norwich have already beaten one team from Manchester this season, so they could easily double that up. But I think there's plenty of reason to keep Pookie.
Yeah, I think if you've got him like I did, then you're not on your wild card, then there's no reason to panic. And I can definitely see him him scoring against Bournemouth. I hope not. Obviously, it would just be my luck. But I've already sold him. Like, I've done that transfer on the wild card. He's not in my thoughts, to be honest. So yeah, if you've got him, I think just be patient. Yeah, they've got decent fixtures still, and like you said, those stats are still sort of there. I think it's just Norwich in general. The form of the whole team is bringing him down a bit, and all those, even Cantwell is got a hamstring like properly now. He's pulled out of the under 21s or something. So yeah, how long he's out for, we don't really know. But yeah, I think it's something up to about 14 injuries, mate, like first teamers. So yeah, that's tough.
That's a lot. Team. That's what casts the doubt, isn't it? Because if he hasn't got his normal squad mates sort of like backing him up, and they're not due back for a long time, it's like how much work does this Norwich team need done on it? I actually had a look at, because one of the transfer considerations after saying all this for me, I mean, I'm always looking at transfers, but I can just about afford Pukki to Wilson, and Bournemouth I think are 5th overall. Maybe in the last 4 game weeks, I think it's either in the last 4 or last 6 for big chances created. So they're up there with some of the best attacking teams in the league after sort of Chelsea, City, Liverpool. They're there or thereabouts. So I think if you're going to make that move from Pukki to Wilson, I think it's understandable.
And obviously Norwich at home next for Wilson.
It is,
And obviously Norwich just conceded 5. You'd obviously expect them to probably not concede 5, but they can definitely concede a few.
We had a question actually on the best 4.5 million defenders from Oshwervi. I think that came in on Twitter, but he said that, like I said, the best 4.5 defenders. So I had a look just to see if I could find anything different, and you wouldn't believe it, but one of the best defenders, or the best 4.5 million defender or lower for baseline bonus points, so that's not including sort of penalties, yellow cards, reds, all that sort of stuff, is Godfrey, a Norwich defender. Is top for baseline bonus, which is pretty awful. Anyway, do we have any sort of recommendations for any 4.5 million defenders? You've obviously got 2 in your squad at the moment, in Lundstrom. I think it's just actually 4.5, and Rico. Is there anyone else you've been looking at?
Yeah, so obviously there's Rico, who's obviously below 4.5. Obviously Kelly as well, the enabler. Willems, like, surprisingly, is a decent shout, or possibly a decent shout anyway. 4.5 million, 0.4% owned, and this is the Newcastle guy. So yeah, fixture swing after Chelsea this week. He's got 28 points, first for points over the last 4 weeks for defenders in the 4.5 range. Second for shots of 4. And 9th for XG of 0.27. So obviously he's got an assist recently. He's got the goal against Liverpool. So yeah, I'm assuming he's nailed on for the time being while Richie is out, or that maybe they go to a back 3 and he becomes a wing back. Then yeah, he could be all right, to be honest. He looks like he's nailing his place with how he's been playing. So yeah, not a bad option. Obviously, there's Lundstrom still, as you said. Yeah. Then there's Cahill at 4.5 million.
Yeah, I like Cahill a lot.
Yeah, 1.6% owned, nailed on, played 90 minutes as soon as he got there. He's played all the 90 minutes. He's first for shots in the 4.5 defenders category, and 4th XG of 0.34, and second in the baseline bonus of 100. So yeah, if you can stretch to Cahill over Kelly for the nailed onness, I think definitely do that. So yeah.
Their next 6, I think their next 5 or maybe even 6 fixtures are pretty torrid. So they've got City, Arsenal, Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool, Burnley, I think it is, away. So really rough. But I'll tell you what, the Cahill start doesn't surprise me, because he always loved the shot, and he was actually pretty well, not prolific at Chelsea, but he would get a goal or 2 a season. So I could see him doing the same for Palace.
Yeah, and if it is strictly 4.5 million, then I think he is the best of them, even though obviously they have those tough fixtures. But they've kept clean sheets in games we wouldn't expect before. So
that's true.
If you have to play him, you're probably going to bench him. If you have to play him, then don't be surprised if he gets you a clean sheet.
Yeah. The ones I'd probably recommend, Lowton of Burnley. The ones I'm going to recommend are actually doubling up. So I mean, I think Pope and Lundstrom are probably quite popular options, but Lowton's looked really good. 4.5 million still. He's reliable. He's got the chance of assists. Burnley have a lot of headed out chances from crosses from their wingbacks, from their fullbacks. Peters, Lowton, Charlie Taylor's an interesting one to keep an eye on, because now Peters has got injured. Charlie Taylor's 4.2 million. Probably a bit early to take a risk on him, but Dyche, I think it was last season, he showed when one of his fullbacks got injured, the person he replaced him with ended up sticking in the team for basically because he was in good form, a bit like what's happened with Cresswell at West Ham. So, yeah, Taylor could be one to look out for. And I also think it's Egan of Sheffield United. So he's 4.5 million as well. He's played in all 3 of their clean sheets. He's really good on baseline bonus. So I think if you haven't got Lundstrom already and Lundstrom's 4.5 million, you think, I need a differential in that Sheffield United team, then Egan or Baldock could be your man.
I wouldn't be doubling up on them. That's a bit far.
Kieran, what about the Sheffield United double up? You're not not on it.
Sorry. And if you've got 0.1 as well, a Dunk is a 4.6. He's been great recently. Always gets bonus if they keep a clean sheet. Usually max bonus. So yeah, great shout as well.
Yeah, no, I like Dunkey. He's 0.1 outside the danger zone though. So if you can find it somewhere. Now, is there any more questions you want to go over, Kieran? Any more things?
Callum Hudson-Odoi, is he the real deal? Is a question.
Golly.
Something I'm interested in on possible wildcard. I don't think the Chelsea triple up and attack is out of the question at all. I'm not sure Tomori is one I want to keep, just because they're not keeping clean sheets really. I think they'll probably keep a few in the next few, but not enough. Whereas their attack looks super pumped up, super interesting, and I want to see them play, obviously. And obviously, Cho, is he the real deal? Who knows? I mean, I don't think he looked that great. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I don't think he looked amazing in the last few games, but he's looked decent. And at 5.9, he's an interesting route to go to McGinn down the line possibly.
Yeah,
so there's players around him and around his price that fits quite well. So obviously Mount versus Hudson-Odoi in Gameweek 8, there was 3 shots compared to 2, big chances of 2 versus 1.
Who's this for? Sorry, who's winning?
Mount
there?
Versus Hudson-Odoi.
Oh, it's Mount first.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Shots 3 versus 2, big chances 2 versus 1. Key passes 2 versus 3, and then an XA of 0.13 versus 0.220. So it looks like Cho is going to be more of the sort of assisting type.
Okay.
And it looks like Mount is more of a sort of burst into the box and score kind of McGinn sort of type. So I wouldn't drop Mount if you have him for Cho, and I wouldn't go without Mount, but the triple up is possible. I don't see it as a bad thing. I think probably Callum Hudson-Odoi is just going to go from strength to strength, right?
Yeah, I think I really like him. It seems like Chelsea have obviously backed him with this new contract. Lampard seems to like him. He's obviously played in the last 2. On the eye test, I think the eye test is probably more important than stats at this stage because it's just such a small sample size.
Sure.
But he still looks like he's getting up to speed in the games he's playing, which is understandable for a long injury. Looked good against Southampton. I think because he's going to be playing a little bit higher up the pitch and he's basically playing as a wide striker, wide man. I think he's going to potentially down the line, or should show, more goal threat than Mount.
Yes.
And obviously,
line,
his assist threat is probably going to come from open play rather than Mount, Mount's got open play and set pieces. So they could be a nice double up just because of his price. I mean, you say he's 5'9"?
Yeah,
5.9 man. Yeah, and a Chelsea attacking front 3, that looks really good. So, I think he could be a great 5th midfielder or even a 4th midfielder if you already thought the Mount boat is gone, but I do fancy some Chelsea. I think he could slot in there.
Honestly, I think if he does anything this weekend, next weekend, the next game, who are they playing again?
Newcastle at home.
Newcastle, yeah. I think if he gets an assist or a goal in that game, his price and his ownership is going to rocket.
Yeah, no,
Guaranteed.
I can agree with that totally. Okay, no, Cho. I think that's it, Kieran.
Yep.
I think that's it. Now then, before we go, we can play this fun game which I've been looking forward to playing.
Oh, yes, okay.
Okay, right. So the game was Trent Alexander-Arnold got asked by Joe Gomez to name as many Premier League clubs as he could in 30 seconds. Now, Trent only got 12, okay? I'm just going to try and do this quickly so you haven't got time to think about it already. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
Shall I close the fantasy
tab
I've got open?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you should.
All right.
And then I'm going to see how many you get, all right? Because I was surprised he didn't get more than... I was like, just think about who you play every week, mate.
Yeah.
And you got 12. Right, ready? Go.
Arsenal, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Norwich.
22 seconds to go.
Manchester City.
Yeah.
Oh God. Southampton, Wolves,
Yeah.
West Ham.
You're on 10 with 10 seconds to go.
Oh my God. Liverpool, obviously. Oh blimey.
5 seconds to go. You're on 11.
Bournemouth. God.
So, there you go.
Oh God, that's actually really hard.
Oh,
Blank.
you got 12. You got 12. You got the same as Trent. I thought you were going to smash
Crystal
that.
Palace. I got people in front of me. You know.
Yeah, you could have just looked at your screen.
Brighton.
I'm good you took it seriously. I'm pleased you took it seriously. Oh, that was good fun. Do that every week. I'll try and get you to name Serie A teams or something next week. All right, that was good fun. Yeah, I hope maybe we should do that for people playing along at home, but I'm not sure how I'd quantify it. Anyway, cool. Right, have you got anything else to add? Because we're going to be back next week with our preview show. We're obviously not going to do our normal gubbins like the Cubs and Manager of the Week. So, yeah, anything you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it for now.
Do you want to give? I'll tell you what we could probably do is a prediction for the England-Czech Republic game, which is going on this evening, isn't it? Starting soon.
Yeah, it's a good team for England, so I'm going to go for a 3-0 win.
3-0. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be a good game. All right. Well, let's see which of those come in, and I'm sure we'll find out when we join back up with you guys next. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. Like I say, we're back early next week, probably Tuesday evening for our preview show. If you've got any questions in the meantime ahead of that, just drop them in the comments below or tweet us at FPL Cougars. If you're not already subscribed, then just press a button now and, we will just come to you. That's how it works with the subscribe. So, yeah, it'll be good. Cool. All right. Until next time, it's goodbye from me. Bye-bye, everyone.